Hello, welcome to McBoss Capital channel. My name is Michael Chu. This is a video regarding my growth stocks list for the week ending May 16, 2025. So we have a really good week this week. As we talk about in market recap video, if you haven't watched that, please go ahead and look into that after this. We talk about how the market bounced on the US-China trade deal news on Monday, 4% day. But actually for growth stocks, actually they did better on Tuesday, and we also see Nvidia starting to jump back into the rally, and also IBD they did increase their allocation to now 80 to 100% by Tuesday. So yeah, so the market was able to hold on to most of the gains by end of Friday. However, we did mention that there may be some negative news coming out after Friday with the downgrade on by Moody's on their credit ratings on US. So that could put a dam on Monday morning. So just something to be aware of. And we'll try to talk about how I handle risk typically in situation like that. We had a day recently similar to that. So we could have something similar again. So anyhow, coming into this week, we see lots of accumulation of over 400 to 500 stocks here being accumulated versus 70 to 100 something. This is based on, I can't remember exactly how much, like roughly 2,000 stocks being tracked right now. And from that, we also have 980 to 100 groups also being accumulated this week versus 10 to as high as 33 groups being distributed. On the sector side, we see technologies. They jump a lot on Monday, Tuesday, but it did come down a bit by Friday. Same thing with retail, same thing with industrials. Health was doing pretty poorly midweek, but it did bounce back yesterday. And then commodities also jumped on Tuesday, but also fell by Friday. And same thing with financials. But overall, we still have a really good accumulation week. As far as the growth stocks list, this has about 354 right now, based on forward guidance of 10% earnings for the next 4 quarters. So very strict criteria. So only 350 stocks roughly meet that criteria. And this week we have still many stocks in uptrend, and about 270 as the high here. And then within 1% of the moving average. So very low there. Most of them are in uptrend, and then some downtrend still. Overall percent in uptrend is 82%, so that's a pretty high number for the week ending. And then new highs, we hit new highs quite a bit on Monday, and then Tuesday it started to come down a bit, and by Thursday it was pretty low, and then Friday we bounced back a little bit. So there's some improvement on Friday again, but this number has come down a lot. Okay. And then relative new high also has come down quite a bit, meaning they're not outperforming the general market as much. So coming back, let's go back to the growth stock list now for this week. So here's the stock symbol ranked by performance, and right now in the top 10, we can see that there is the number 10 is Palantir with 66 performance gain since April 7th, which is pretty much the low. And most of these stocks are in uptrend, and their highest, the recent date where they make the highest price was, is shown here, and then here's the groups and sectors here. So yeah, we're gonna go through this. Feel free to look at them yourself. I'm not going to go through every single one of them. There's lots of stocks in uptrend as we just mentioned. You can see lots of yellows here, meaning they're in uptrend. So as you come down towards the bottom of the list, that's when you start to see more downtrends. Stocks still under their moving averages, short-term moving averages. So yeah, so 300 around 350 stocks. Okay, so at the top we have HIMS. HIMS did really well this week. Let's jump to it. So on Monday we bounced again here. Tuesday we bounced to new high, and then finally Wednesday we peaked, and then we start to pull back. And we have a very strong pullback on Thursday right here. Like by the end of the day it was only down 4%, but I believe during the day it was down like 9% or something like so. So that was the move there, and then we did close off the low. So we go back to 5 intraday chart right here. So we saw this really sharp drop right here, and then we start to bounce back, and you can see the holding pattern here, and then it starts to goes up, and then Friday we able to fall through here. We pull back, found some support, and then it went again. So right now this stock, if you look at the last run, it's a very fast move, and we see climax run actions here because they are really big daily swings. So this was a 27% swing right there, and then this one at the top was 17% swing. So we haven't seen that kind of big swing yet, like one day. So this one was 15%, so you could count that because that's one day swing, 15%. So we've seen one so far. So we could see, one or two more before it tops. So and yesterday was 10%, so a little bit lower. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But you know, yeah. So right now you can see after hours is down 4.93%. So very volatile. So just beware of this stock. It is very volatile from day to day. 360 here, rank number 2. We had this huge breakout from earnings move here, and it just went up lots that day. I think yeah, like 20% close. And then we start to pull back because we were way above the 10-day moving average right here, but it is starting to come back up now as it kind of make a pause. But look how it never really gave up much as well. It closed at the top range on by the second day here, and then today on Friday we able to continue that bounce. So this is looks very healthy right now. After hours right now it's down 2%. Again, I talk about this in my market recap video. We may see a Monday morning that is a little bit more negative, but the question is, where are we going to close? Either we're going to close down really sharp, or we're going to maybe bounce back. So we don't know. We'll have to deal with that, right? So we'll see. Broke out from a base pattern here. Looking good so far. It is a slight pullback on Thursday here. Friday was able to not hit new low and bounce, so that looks pretty promising. So right here we were able to found support, and before we hit that low, it is after hours down 2%. Again, so Monday morning I'll just mention, like, usually what will happen is they might break either Friday's low or even Thursday's low, depending how far they are. In this case, they're really close, so it's possible they will break both lows and then bounce, right? So that's something to watch. But if it doesn't bounce back, then that's more concern, right? So those are things to watch out for. Generally, my stop are very tight for half the position. So at least it will take out half my position if it opens really weak, and then I'll decide whether I will buy back during the day, and that's okay. I manage my risk that way. I don't mind buying back higher. The worst is to see 2% loss become like a 5 to 10% loss. That's even more hurtful, right? So that's how I manage my risk. So for Duolingo is ranked number 4. This one broke out also really strong on earnings. After that, it was able to pretty much follow through, go sideways, and then follow through right here. So now we are seeing some slight pullback again, very slight. So that's good. So even after for hours Friday, this is something to, again, we don't know how stocks open on Monday morning. This is just a guess, right? This is how it closed. Doesn't mean it's how it's open. But at least right now it shows that, hey, this is only down 0.2% compared to the other guys, right? So this looks very promising. Structure, huge correction, and right now it's just coming back really strong. You can see the 10-day slope right there. So far, it hasn't want to touch the 10-day. That's something to pay attention to as well. I pay attention a lot to that. The stocks that doesn't want to touch the 10-day, I generally will not hesitate to add, because those are the stocks that tend to be the strongest. So you can see here, pullback, it never come to the 10-day. And then this pullback here, so far it hasn't come to the 10-day. After hours is down 0.94%, also slightly better than the 2% or more on other stocks. Chip stock, this one also running on the right side of the base right now, very sharp. So far the pullback was able to hold above the 10-day, and we have a follow-through bounce on Friday. We do see after hours down 4%, so this one could be a little bit more volatile. So looking at intraday chart here, so we do have this stop right here. That's usually where I set my lowest stop here, 4%. So at 202 right now. So if we look at the low here on Friday, it's 201.93. So if it does undercut that, I'll probably get stopped out on some of my position here, and then we'll see what happens after that. And that obviously this is not everyone has the same strategy, and whatever you feel is more works for you, obviously do that based on your experience. I know based on some of the IBD live traders, they like to wait for the first 5 or 10 minute or even 15-minute bar to see how it reacts before they will actually put a stop or sell. Because the first few bars usually are where most people like me would put a stop, it would get triggered. So it's actually in some cases it's a disadvantage because people who can manipulate the market, or they have the power to do that, they could see all these orders and they could trigger all of them and then start buying after. So that can happen, but also the opposite could happen, which is like if you don't sell in the first 5 minutes, maybe it didn't drop that much, but then it actually dropped more after, right, in the next 15, 20, 30 minutes. So it goes both ways, but again, but some people do take the other strategy, which is they're just willing to wait at least the first 15 minutes. And that's usually true. I do notice, the market, when they drop, they usually drop the hardest in the first, half an hour or so. So that's another good strategy to approach it if that's something you want to do. So MGNI McKnight is pulling back, probably more severe than others here. So Thursday and Friday, both days it dropped quite a little bit. So right now it's getting closer to the 10-day. So right now it's after hours minus 1.87%. So it'll probably get closer to the green line. And I don't, this is a stock that I tried recently and it fell like exactly on Thursday. I wasn't able to get in on the earnings, which I missed. So I'm hoping to get into this stock, positioning wise, once, this pullback is done. Also have a nice 10-day moving average line sloping upward. Traded really tight on Friday. It didn't move that much. That's one concern, but it also didn't fall much. So we are seeing after hours down 3% right now. So we'll see how this whether it'll come back to the 10-day line or not. This is Allegro Microsystems. The weekly chart is not very good looking at all, but we are seeing a very powerful move recently, and probably due to earnings triple-digit growth in the future here. So right now you can see it just went straight up from the bottom here for many sessions now, seven sessions or so, and it moved up really fast. So right now this stock is, even after hours, is still in the positive, so that's quite amazing. Next here we have Palantir. Right now we have this cup with handle base. The handle was formed during the earnings report, which dropped quite significantly. So far it has been able to stay above this breakout line right here. Look at that. So it's holding really tight, right? So even Friday was able to close near the top, but of course this is it's still in a tight pattern. It could go either way. And right now I'm seeing this 3% down after hours, so we'll see what happens on Monday. It's possible that it come back and test the 10-day once more. So those are the top 10 stocks right here. Again, at 6% performance gain or better. That's quite impressive. And then at rank 11 we have VRT, and then SMTC, another chip stock here. So this one also have a huge correction and it's starting to come back up. It is down 2.94% after hours, so we'll see if we can rebound. And the IPO stock in aerospace defense doing really well. XMTR making new highs right here, looking really strong. Zometry, and here's the 10-day moving average. This one looks really good. It is down a little bit after hours, 0.7%. Then we have CLS here and ETON. So ETON pulling back a little bit. This is a biotech stock. We have Bumble, ARLO. ARLO is a security safety stock here, looking very sharp. Here's the 10-day. So look at how it goes sideways. Now it is pulling back quite a bit here, 3.5%. So again, a lot of stocks are going to pull back Monday morning. this may be an opportunity, but again, I usually wait for the rebound before I add to it. So something to be, yeah, because I don't want to be get caught in a big pullback, right? Like, a pullback can be like a few percentage points, or it could be like 10% or more. So it depends how far this pullback will go. Next, we have BTSG, Bright Spring, also a health home care stock, also getting closer to a breakout high here. Then we have rank 20 app here. It is pulling back a little bit. MYRG, ARWR. Next we have DELL and SHAK here making new highs. So this is DELL looking very sharp right now. This is a very strong slope. It is after hours down 2%. SHAK restaurant. This is probably a stock I never imagined could make a slope that looks like this. This is very sharp. This is almost 60-degree or more angle. And look at the ants that are coming out. That shows accumulation happening. Looking very sharp as well. Next we have Tesla, doing really well, which we covered in the market recap video. It is down 2.8% after hours, so we'll see if it can bounce back or not. Next we have TEM, then we have Mosaic and SECO, both also make new high. So this is chemical agriculture. This is another stock that I'm really surprised how sharp of a slope of the rise is. It's very strong slope here, down 1% after hours here. SECO pollution control stock also trying to move above the 200-day line here. It is down 2% after hours. Then we have LITE, SYM, COHR, SE. This one also pulling back after making a new high. So it was able to make a slightly new high here, and then it did pull back. It is after hours is down 2%. Then we have AVGO, SNCY, MTZ, CVI here. So see, this is CVR energy in the refining area, and it did make a new high again. This one's pulling back a little bit. It is down 3.4% after hours, so maybe pulling back now. Next we have EXTR, CRSR, and TOST. For TOST, this one also been moving up really strongly. Then, as you can see, the slope is also pretty strong. Even on Friday, it was able to make a new high before the pullback, and then right now we're down 1% after hours. Then we have SHAK Ninja, GTLS, PAHC, STX making new high on Friday. This one looks quite extended. You can see this is also another sharp 10-day line right here. It is down 1%. So this one down slightly less than other stocks here. So that looks pretty good. Next we have ROLT, AEIS, Melly, Micron. So as we saw in the big market recap video, we saw that chip stock had the best week, up quite a bit. And so we're seeing lots of chip stock making big moves this week. So here's another one making new highs and above the 200-day. It looks like it's going to come back a little bit, 2% down. We have KD, AVPT, Iron, and RCL both making new highs. Iron is financial service specialty area. It was able to pull back and bounce right here, down 2.1% right now. Then we have Royal Caribbean. This one also has a nice uptrend, 45-degree angle. Was able to make new high, down 0.9% after hours. Next we have APG, and then now SoFi, IoT, and HWM. IoT is also making a really strong move right now. You can see it's going sideways rather than coming back down. It's down 0.8% after hours. HWM continued to trade pretty tight, moving up nicely. The slope is pretty strong still. It's down 0.9% after hours. Next we have Affirm, Snow, Okta, Twilio, and NVDA. This is Okta making new highs right now, very sharp, down 1.7% after hours. Here's Twilio also bouncing, lots of ants showing up as well. This is down 2.1% after hours. NVIDIA, we also talked about in the big market recap video, is showing lots of strength in 3 days run. It went up a lot, and right now it's down 2.4%. Next we have GE, also making new high. Grind is in a downtrend right now. It pulled back a bit. We have MTSI, and then we have Netflix, which we covered in the market recap video. Very strong right now. ATGE, LB, this is Land Bridge US Exploration. This is just near the brink of breaking out, so we'll see what happens. It's only down 0.1%. I expect a big move when it breaks out because it's just a very nice cup right here. So we'll see what happens, whether it'll pull back or whether it'll just break out. Next we have ARES, LSPD making new highs, and TT as well. This is Lightspeed Commerce. It is starting to come back up here. So it looks pretty good after hours, holding really tight here. This one is in the building heating products, Train Technologies, TT. This is also very sharp, just broke out on Friday. Very nice chart as well. It's down only 0.3% after hours. Next we have ALKT, then FSS and ITT, also making new highs, both of them. So here's FSS looking really sharp. ITT also making, they're all coming back on the right side of the base. This one is down 1.6% right now. Next we have NU, BZ, AT&T, RefG, Skyward, all three making new highs. Here's AT&T. It did pull back on Friday, so we'll see what happens. It is up 0.8% after hours. This is Chinese hotel chain here. RefG also making new high. It pulled back a little bit, down 0.7% after hours. This one looking very sharp, 10-day moving average. We have Skyward in the insurance area. This one also starting to curve up, looks really sharp, making new highs on Fridays and Thursdays. Then we have ADI, Hubs pulling back a little bit, Audio I, Unity making new high right now, TPBK, RL, Chef, Pod, all three are making new highs. Q2, VRNA, Tigo, ETN, IRM also making new high. B-Bar, FLS, ESE, ATAC, C, FICO making new high, Air making new high, FN making new high. So those are your top 100. Feel free to look through them. There's a lot more stocks down here. WAB, Billy, those are making new highs. We have Microsoft down here, SCHW right here. So those are also making new highs. USFD. So as we come down this list here, we still see lots of stocks making new high yet. ENSG, Urban, KEX, PNTG, TPL, CPA, UNFI, PFGC, FMS, Adobe, AHR, SCA, GLWBK here, GVA, we have Co-op down here, CLW, CSL. Feel free to look through all these stocks here as we go down. Like I said, we will see more downtrend stocks. Hopefully this will give you a really good sense how strong the market is. Of course, Monday we're going to see a pullback here, and like I said, how you handle those pullbacks are very important. And again, we have no idea if the market is going to turn. We always have to prepare for a turn, and if it does turn, then we have to be prepared for that. So let's just quickly look at one more time QQQ here. Here's the index. We have 5 days updates for Nasdaq, very strong. And if we do pull back, like watch for the 10-day. The 10-day is very high. How far will it go back? That's the question here. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And until next time, have a nice trading week and weekend.